Hey guys, I'm here for my SummerSlam 2015 review, which is not part of my SummerSlam review series. It's a standalone series. It's a standalone review. The SummerSlam review series goes from 1988 to 2014. So SummerSlam took place yesterday, August the 23rd, 2015, from the sold-out Barclay Center in Brooklyn, New York. A 10-match card on a 4-hour show, so we have a maximum of 50 stars for this show. We open with a Jon Stewart segment where he brings out Mick Foley, and this whole thing centers around an interview that never happens with Brock Lesnar about how Mick Foley is scared, and when he just leaves Stewart because Foley's scared of Lesnar, Stewart just says start the show. So our opening match was Randy Orton versus Sheamus in a boring match. I don't care about this match. No matter what the WWE does, I will not care about Randy Orton versus Sheamus. I've seen this enough, and I really don't care about it, no matter what the WWE does. Sheamus wins with 2 brogue kicks. 2 stars. So then we get the fatal 4-way WWE Tag Team Championship match. New Day, which is Kofi, Kingston, and Big E for this match. Primetime players, New Day, which, as I said, is Kofi, Kingston, and Big E. Los Matadores and the Lucha Dragons. Very good tag match here. Probably one of the better matches on this show. There's the finishing sequence of the Tower of Doom spot with Titus O'Neil, one of the Matadors, and the Lucha Dragons. And during that, Kofi Kingston gets on the apron and tags Titus's back, which tags himself in. Titus hits a clash of the Titus on one of the Matadors. I don't know which one is which. I don't know which one Primo's playing. I don't know which one Epico's playing. And then Kofi covers one of the Matadors, gets the win, and New Day become new tag champs. So yeah, I'm fine with that. This is my first prediction I got right of the night. I ended up being fairly good on my predictions. So, but personally, what I think I would like to see the WWE do, even for a one-off, like say at Night of Champions with New Day, is how about you do the New Day versus the Vaudevillains, the WWE Tag Champs versus the NXT Tag Champs. That's a very interesting. That could be a very interesting dynamic with those two teams, and it could be a small test to see how the main roster fans get over, how the Vaudevillains can get over the main roster crowd. Because the problem with the NXT crowd is very simple. Or at least some NXT guys run into this problem. Their shtick they do in NXT doesn't work the main roster crowd. So I think a thing like that could at least let the WWE see how the main roster fans might take to the Vaudevillains. I think that could be more interesting of a dynamic than New Day versus PTP again, or New Day versus Lucha Dragons, or New Day versus Los Matadores. Think outside the box sometimes, WWE. It can be rewarding. So then we get Dolph Ziggler versus Rusev in a match that really should be a mixed tag match. Now look, I understand that Lana is not a trained wrestler, but if you do the match right, you can hide that fact. If you just have Lana do the basic stuff like slaps and that kick she did last Monday, and that be her only involvement and Summer's only involvement in the match, it can still work. Now granted, I know that there's a waste of Lana and Summer in a match, but the storyline for this match makes it more believable for this to be a mixed tag match. That's the storyline here. The storyline calls for a mixed tag match. And it's not like the WWE has put non-wrestlers in a mixed tag match. They put Sapphire in one back at WrestleMania 6. So, and they hit her good. You can do that with Lana, because that's really what it goes for. And the match wasn't even that great. It was kind of a boring match, Ziggler Rusev, and it ends by a double countout, which is even more dumb. Which is why I think this needs to be a mixed tag match. Because, yes, you leave a thing for the rivalry to continue, but you also have this side feud of Lana and Summer, so just combine them and have it Night of Champions, have it be a mixed tag match. I forgot that Ziggler was happening, so I didn't predict it. I would have been wrong, though, because I would have predicted Ziggler wins. The next match is a match that I knew I was right about, and that is Neville and Stephen Amell. It's the only one I was confident of in my predictions vid. It was Neville and Stephen Amell versus Stardust and King Barrett. This is an okay match. I was impressed by some of the stuff Stephen Amell did, and the fact that they actually had him be the guy taking all the damage, because normally that would be the trained wrestler, in this case, Neville. Amell actually at one point went up top into the crossbody on Stardust and Barrett, and then Neville hit the red arrow on Barrett to get the win. And while he came out dressed partially as Arrow, Stephen Amell was not known as the Green Arrow, because if he wrestled as the Green Arrow, DC probably would have sued WWE for some copyright infringement thing. So I was impressed by Stephen Amell. He kept it basic, but he also did some interesting stuff. A hip toss, a leapfrog, that top rope crossbody. He did some interesting stuff there. 2 stars, and that's for Stephen Amell. So, Rusev, Ziggler, 1 star, by the way. So the next match of the night was a triple threat Intercontinental Championship match. Ryback, Miz, and Big Show. Around 5:30. 1 star. It's not that good of a triple threat match. Big Show knocks out Miz, and then Ryback dumps Big Show over the top rope to retain the IC Championship. So then I was wrong on that, because I thought Miz was going to win. So then we get the family versus family match that I was wrong with, but I'm actually surprised I was wrong, because I thought, and it's Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper. I thought they would have one of either Reigns or Ambrose turn on the other, but I was pleasantly surprised that did not happen. Because this was normally the kind of thing that the WWE would do. They would have one of them turn on the other. But they didn't. Ambrose and Reigns won, so the feud's obviously going to continue since Bray beat Roman at Payback, or a Battleground, and now you have this match here. So I guess at Night of Champions they're going to have their blow-off to the Reigns-Wyatt feud, and then maybe their turn will happen. I'm pretty sure a turn's going to happen with Reigns and Ambrose, if one turning on the other. I'm pretty sure of that. I'm just surprised they didn't do it at SummerSlam. Because, like I said, with as long as I've been watching wrestling, if you start making a big deal about how close 2 people are, that's eventually going to lead to one of them turning on the other. So, as far as the match goes, enjoyed it, 3 stars. So the next match of the night was the title match, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship versus the WWE United States Championship match, which I was kind of surprised was here, as it's Seth Rollins and John Cena. Given where they were, the finish that they did, which I was wrong with, because personally I thought that neither Rollins nor Cena would walk out with the championship. I thought they were going to have Sheamus cash in, personally. This was a good match. It's a 4-star match, in my opinion. And I'm surprised that Rollins won, but again, he couldn't do it on his own. This is the problem with Seth Rollins. He's won 1 match since he's been champion on his own. 1, and that was the ladder match of Ambrose at Money in the Bank. Every other match he's won has some kind of interference in him, so he's basically a generic chicken heel who can't win a match on his own, and it really has hurt his title reign. Take the finish of this match, it doesn't even make any logical sense for this, as Jon Stewart comes in with a chair after the ref is bumped. After there's the ref bump, Jon Stewart comes in with this chair, acts like he's going to hit Rollins, hits Cena, and then Rollins pedigrees Cena on the chair and wins the U.S. Championship while retaining the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Why did the WWE have Jon Stewart do that? He was only here for SummerSlam, as far as I know. So why did he do that? Was this just to give a swerve? Did Vince Russo book that? Because it sounds like something Vince Russo would have booked. 4 stars though. I guess they don't want Cena to be anywhere, other than the fact, I guess if they want to give the title back to Cena, I guess they want to do it in a far more friendly place. Because being in a suburb of New York City, which Brooklyn is, I imagine if Cena won, there probably would have been riots in the street of New York after that. And that's not Cena's fault, per se. New York's a very anti-Cena crowd. So, 4 stars, though. So then we get the 3-team, 9-diva tag team match. PCB versus Team Bella versus Team Bad. This is an okay match. I think it's the weakest match in the Divas Revolution, but it still was better than the majority of Diva matches we've got. But again, let's be honest, as I've said, this match, this whole Divas Revolution thing is just so Nikki Bella can surpass AJ Lee. Because Vince is a very, very, very petty man. Because Vince McMahon is a very petty man. And since AJ's married to Punk, he doesn't want AJ in the record books. And she probably won't be in 2K16 because of that either, just because, yeah, it's petty, but that's how Vince rolls. Team Bad eliminated first when Bray eliminates Tamina with a top rope face crusher, and it comes down to PCB versus Team Bella. And that's where this match picked up, in my opinion, with a team with PCB versus Team Bella. Now, I think that Team Bad was good too, but I just think they were misused in the match. But this really picks up when it comes down to Team Bella and Team PCB. Charlotte goes for the figure 8. Nikki breaks the pin up. Becky Lynch comes in, and then Becky Lynch ends up pinning Brie Bella with some pump handle slam. Well, I was right on the match with PCB winning, but here's the thing. Whoever won for PCB, in this case Becky Lynch, she should have pinned Nikki Bella. Because then you have a reason to put Becky Lynch versus Nikki Bella. Because the thing about this, one of these people, Sasha Banks, Charlotte, or Becky Lynch, should be the person at Night of Champions who defeats Nikki Bella for the Divas Championship. Now, I imagine what they might do is do some kind of weird fatal 4-way match where it's Nikki versus Becky versus Charlotte versus Sasha, or something like that. But I would have preferred that Becky Lynch pin Nikki Bella, personally. She's already made her tap, and then pinning her, it would give the impression that maybe Nikki can't beat either Charlotte or Becky. So, and yes, I think Nikki Bella will lose that championship at Night of Champions after she surpasses AJ Lee. So, that's what I think they're waiting for. Is first to pass AJ Lee, then they'll get the title off of her. So, I don't see her holding it till Survivor Series anyway. I don't see her holding it till then. She may hold it till Hell in a Cell, but I don't see her holding it past Hell in a Cell. 3.5 stars this tag match. So then we get Kevin Owens versus Cesaro in what was a good match, as I thought. And I was right on it, as Kevin Owens won. It was an okay match. This could have been better. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it could have been better. Owens won after he did that top rope Fisherman Buster and then did the pop-up powerbomb. And that's how he won the match. Good that Kevin Owens actually finally won a match instead of losing, because he's been losing ever since Battleground when he lost to Cena. So it's good that he finally won a match, and he did it with no interference, no cheating, because at least they know how to have Kevin Owens look when he wins, and that is, he wins without help and without any dirty tactic. So 3 stars at this match. So then we got the main event, and what should have been the main event. The Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar in a match that is weird. At least the finish was. Now don't get me wrong, I think they had to go with a non-clean finish. If they weren't going to go with a non-finish, I think would have been the better thing to do. The non-clean finish works, and this is and this is a very complex ending that they came up with. So, Brock has Undertaker in the Kimura lock. Now Charles Robinson, the referee, he's counting Brock's shoulder. That's what he's looking for. But the timekeeper sees Undertaker tap out to the Kimura, and the timekeeper rings the bell by himself without being signaled by the referee. So then that brings Paul Heyman in. Lesnar breaks the Kimura, and Charles Robinson gets into this confrontation with the timekeeper because he did not call for the bell and the timekeeper should not have rung the bell. Taker then does a low blow to Brock and then puts him in the Hell's Gate, and Brock passes out while flipping the Undertaker in the middle finger in the process. Like I said, this is the kind of thing they were going to do. This is the thing they had to do because Brock loses by passing out, which counts as a submission, but he didn't actually tap out. And Taker should have won because, quite frankly, bringing him back to SummerSlam just to have him lose again to Brock would have made no sense. So I guess they'll have this final thing at Night of Champions with these two, and then Brock will probably win that. I give that match 3.5 stars. If they could have, because the finish was creative, I'll give it that. The finish was a very creative finish, and I don't see much. So all the information of this show will be in the description box. If you like the video, like button is down there, subscribe button is down there, and thank you for watching. Bye.